Well, salutations, everybody. It's a pleasure to be back. Another day, another dollar, another go to see where the fun ends up landing us. And of course, that means we're back with a wee bit of Football Manager 24, which is interesting because we have about another 2-3 weeks before FM 26 is out. So we'll enjoy the crack whilst we can. And there's no better way to enjoy the crack than to entertain one of the greats, one of the originals, back here when I ended up doing the Pokemon Red playthrough all that time ago. Senior Linus, what's a crack-a-lackin'? How is your Wednesday treating you? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? Is it all going saucy, my friend? I have to give you a bit of a pre-warning, Linus. It wouldn't be fair not to. I have done something that is the bane of existence. I have done something that will horrify and amaze you. I have done something that will scare the bones out of your very body. There's no point building the anticipation anymore. I'll just show you. Yes, I have shaved. And yes, I realize how plump it has made me look. But to be fair, in about 2 weeks, I'll have my face back to where it was. Not as long, but, you know, with an actual somewhat sustainable beard. So there's that. But how are things with yourself, my friend? I mean, it does help that way, I suppose. I do look a couple of years younger. I haven't looked this way since 2018, my friend. And then before that was 08. So I do it once every 5 or 7 years. FMGNG. What's a crack-a-lackin', my friend? What's a crack-a-lackin' with you? Stream was good today, to be fair. The crack is right here, Katie. Styling and profiling for the world to see. What's the crack with you, my friend? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? Is it all going saucy? It's a pleasure to have you. Yes, I know. Crimson and babyface. It has been a bit. It has been a while. I think now the statement can be true. I truly am. Interesting that they're not working. Huh. Uno momento. That should work there. Yeah, it was there. Anyway. You know, style, profile, in the words of the great Ric Flair. If you ain't styling and you ain't profiling, you ain't living and you ain't going. So all I can say is, howdy, my friend, and what's a crack-a-lackin'? But it's a pleasure to have you all here. How is everyone's October doing for you so far? We're already halfway through the 10th month of the year. We're already one step closer to FM 26 coming out. We're already 2 months away from Avatar 3 coming out. I never was a massive fan of the Avatar franchise, so it'll be interesting to see how that ends up coming. But wish us a bit of luck, Linus. Wish us a bit of luck, Katie. Wish us a bit of luck, FM, because we go in to arguably our biggest league game of the season. Our first league game versus the almighty Barcelona. Barcelona have been a kryptonite for years, but we managed to get a number of victories over them last year. They have an almighty win rate percentage as well as us. So we'll see how that ends up going. Thus far, we have a perfect start to the league, getting the Super Cup and beating Atletico Madrid in convincing fashion. So let's see if it continues on as we go in and see. Senior de Bounce, what's a crack-a-lackin' with you? Is all going good? Is all going grand? What did you spend 643 sterling on, Katie? That sounds like it either is the most painful thing in the world or a good bit of fun to end up having. We've already 1 month away from Ireland being eliminated from the World Cup. I mean, to be honest, you're probably right. But the funny thing about that statement is Hungary aren't indestructible. And who knows, maybe luck will continue on our side. Armenia, probably out of the four of us, it deserves to be Portugal and Armenia, to be honest. But it is anybody's game between Hungary, ourselves, and Armenia. So time shall tell what ends up happening. Fun, Katie. Now, did something go wrong with your PC in order to warrant the expense on the new CPU and motherboard? Or is it just, it was time for an upgrade and you decided to end up doing it? Ooh. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. It's horrible when things end up going wrong. Thankfully, my baby here hasn't been too bad, but I did upgrade the CPU not too long ago in order to make it better for the likes of Path of Exile 2 because I just enjoyed the game so much. Not too bad. It's always a nice experience to go through to build a brand new PC, so I hope it goes well for you, my friend. Are you going for anything fancy within the building process? Or is it the usual suspects that you're going with? This is weird. I was going to say. Interesting. Okay. So. This is the team that we're going to go with. Maybe not. No. This is the team that we're going to go with. So, we're going to go with our stalwart, Jason O'Connor, the Irish superstar that has spawned. And when I say superstar, boy, do I mean superstar. Look at the crackerjack stats of this 22-year-old. How we managed to get him, I haven't a clue. He just appeared one of the days in Liverpool's group intake, and we got him happily out. Burke, our most expensive centre-back. Lebe, who we originally purchased as a midfielder into the defence. Joaquin, who had his legendary season at Man City last season. We'll go with stalwarts of the midfield in Warren Emery and Eduardo Camavinga. Foston, we shall put on the left. Justin, we shall put on the right. And we will go with the stalwart situation of none other than Ard, Guller, Jude, Bellingham, and Enric up front. Hopefully the GPU is the next case next week. The 983D Mob, buying this hopefully next week. That's a nice tower now, to be fair. Now that GPU you were on about there, I'm not aware of it, so I'll give that a quick search. Oh no, that's your motherboard. Ah, okay. What GPU are you thinking of going for? Are you thinking NVIDIA? Are you thinking AMD? What are you thinking of going with? But yeah, the joys of AMD, smart girl. It is the way to go at the moment. Intel are making good strides in artificial intelligence and the way that ends up going, but at the moment they're just so unpredictable, and everything appears to be just crack. We promised we were going to be better with the language. Everything with Intel has been becoming fecal exchange, aka shite. By the way, FM, and I should ask this as well. Do you prefer to be called FM or GNG? But by the way, FM, if you are still here, what do you think Ireland's chances are of actually getting through in the World Cup? Because it would be fascinating for us if we got through. I think everyone in the country would be celebrating with a pint. I'd have to get a tricolour stamped into a shirt. Or maybe a tricolour tattoo put on me. But yeah, that's not a bad old graphics card now with the AMD. And what's the first thing once you get the new system set up, Katie? What's the first thing you're going to end up playing? Are you going to be like the rest of us, twits, and spend 2 to 3K on a computer just to crack open Football Manager that currently can run on a toaster? I do love how that the actual specs for the new game haven't been brought out at all either, by the way. So no one has any idea how graphically intensive 26 is going to be. Let's hope that it's not. Also, Marco, let's talk. I mean, that's a shout. That's a shout. If you want to end up seeing a good old Pal World stream every Monday, go over to our good friend Simus. He ends up playing it. I haven't gotten it myself, but with the way Pokemon is going, I might end up giving it a go, because crikey, does that Pokemon game look bad. Woo! It doesn't look good at all. But let's talk about Marco for a minute. Lamine Yamal as your top striking force. Swap Victor and him immediately. But hey, let's see how things end up going. Nice defense as well, to be fair to them. Julian Alvarez down there. Couple of people you can still remember for the modern day, but we'll see what ends up happening. Do you know what you should end up playing, Katie? You know what you should end up playing? You should end up finding the most graphically intensive version of Tetris you can possibly go and see what you can end up playing. I mean, to be fair, that's not that bad. It's not that bad of an option. Now, depending on the delay that you have on it, you might be better waiting until Black Friday. Obviously, that's the end of October, beginning of November. So you might be better waiting to Black Friday to buy that. But it depends on your time restraints and how quickly you want your computer set up. Also, by the way, they have Bart Vendebergen of Brighton fame. No, not Brighton. It is Brighton, isn't it? Yeah, Brighton fame. So he has had in our competitions against each other 2 modes. He has either been the god of Midas himself, or he has been the dribbling shits. So we shall see tonight if Justin can keep the ball, whether or not he will be Midas's touch himself or the dribbling fecal exchange. What do you want to put your bets down for? Because knowing my luck, Bart will have one of those nights. Quickly, if things go smoothly, if few of my sales, well, hopefully everything goes smoothly and you end up getting it set up the way that you want to. You'll have to post an image directly into the Discord showcasing your brand new rig whenever you get the chance, my friend, to see the brilliance of what you have created. God, this is dangerous. They're taking too many attacks on us. Yeah, they are overpowering us at the moment. I knew it. You could feel it. Well, I hope that I hope it ends up going well for you. Huh, interesting. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, screw that. Go on. Sorry about that. Something came in a bit odd there. But yeah, hopefully everything ends up going well for you. That will buy me the case, the GPU, and 1TB SSD, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and a cooler. I mean, that's very, very good for that price if it gets you all of that type of stuff. And of course, you need that level of storage anyway. In fact, that probably won't even do you. Probably need to get another terabyte at some point in time, but it's a good starting point. And a brilliant goal for us there as well. Getting ourselves back in there. Libe just tipping it into the back of the net. And a good showcase of how we play that our defenders is that high up into the pitch. Yes, no, I figured what you ended up being. I know, Doc. I know. I had a shave. I had a hot towel shave. I went for the hot towel shave. Get the towels down, skim it all together. Oh, happy out. It's an absolute pleasure to have that. It's I don't deserve it, but thank you so much. I'll have to thank Benny again next time he ends up coming back. Case will have 7 fans, including CPU cooler 10 fans. That should be enough. Hopefully. The one good thing is that case that you mentioned seems to be big enough that if you need to, you can put in more external fans or a coolant anyways. So you should be good enough in what you're doing. Now, I'm not best at the hardware point of view, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. But hopefully it all ends up going great for you. What a goal! Oh, stop the hearts and bleed for a second. Holy crap, Foston. I don't know what you were watching, Katie. He's more. He couldn't be more on side if he tried. But what a goal! Oh, they've Willie Campbell on the pitch too. We nicked him from Manchester United at one particular point in time, and it ended up going well. No, that'll be me, Doc. That'll be me. Oh, are you excited now? I trolled about you in another chat. Me or Doc, Katie? Because both are valid sources of trolling. Bart, you lord! What a save of Bellingham's header. Oh!
Off is a direction you can fuck.
To even insinuate it. To even insinuate it. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in you. Weird. Pop up. Okay, yeah. What's going on here? Hold on a second, those of you on TikTok. I'm going to end up testing something again for a second. There's no reason why this should be breaking. So apologies, something's breaking on me for a second.
Off is a direction you can fuck.
Okay. Which begs the question. If it is active there, and then this ends up working, which it should. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. That's different. Oh, okay. Unfortunate. Okay. So, wonderfully, a new update has boggled out some of the crap that I end up working with. But that'll be Future Crack's problem to sort out. I have some technical stuff to try and sort out on another day. So for now, the vertical stream ain't getting some of the bits. But again, that'll be Future Crack's problem. So it's showing up for ye. It's just not showing up on the vertical stream. So Atrum which is what I have been using for the multi-stream capabilities, just to give you a bit of behind the scenes. Which I've been using for the multi-stream capabilities to allow me to stream to YouTube, Kick. Well, I shouldn't say that on TikTok, but whatever. Who gives a crap? I don't have enough people. So, which I use to stream on the other platforms, allows you to do a vertical stream platform, which is what's used for the YouTube vertical as well. Before the current update, all of the scenes were clumped into one particular segment. Now it has been put into a nice little thing where you can end up seeing where your vertical ones are separated from your main ones. Problem is that change isn't being showcased within StreamerBot. So the setup that I have before will come up for the main screen, but it won't come up for the vertical, which is unfortunate. But hey, we'll deal with it later on, as we say. Let me get the bagpipes out. We do have a blurb for that, but fair enough. So, I mean, you were doing that before, weren't you? How bad is to fix your congestion in South Africa? I have never touched the region. Also, we have a lot to be concerned with because although we're 1-0 up, we haven't been the best team. And we're going to have to take Eduardo off, even though he's been arguably our best player, because we're not taking the risk on the injury. So we'll put Luis Alberto on, and Ard Guller has to come off because he's been stinking out the joint. So we'll put Edmund Adams there. And we'll hope that we continue to play somewhat okay. So let's continue on. Let's hope that it continues to go well. Bob's your uncle. Help me out. Okay. Kambwala's injured as well. Interesting. They still have Balde, and O'Connor's able to score himself. Thankfully, we haven't had any major goalkeeping errors. That is one of the concerns. Bart, you have Bellingham's number today. You really do. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and Bellingham fails to score. That is just not good enough from Jude Bellingham there. Enric, nobody there for him. Joaquin! What a goal by the legend himself! Oh my lord! Look at that! Oh, that's a shot that would break the crossbar. Oh my God, Joaquin. Joaquin and Lebe doing the job. "13 games in 30 days. That's bonkers. And I complained about Lamine Yamal being their striker. Fair play to ye. Does that count? No, that's unfortunate for Barcelona. They could have used that turn of faith. Fantastic corner all the same. Just unfortunate that they were offside. Bart's having a fantastic game. It's a shame that the back line has been giving it up a bit for Barcelona. Ariel in particular has been loosening it up. Ooh. Hi, they are sharp. They're definitely the most dangerous team we've seen. Within those 13 games, Senior Duck, are all of them league games? Or are there cup games in between it as well? Are there any lesser games where you can play a secondary team? Does the financial capabilities of the South African League even make it possible for you to have a secondary team? Jude, you lucky son of a gun. You finally surpassed Bart, and it took Bart saving Edmund Adams in order to get it. Barcelona 4-1. The goal is still in sight. Ladies, gentlemen, and the Technicolor rainbow in between, we still have a chance of doing the perfect season with Real Madrid to potentially end the the FM24 save that has been going since September of last year. 1 year this save has been going. I've no idea when my actual start point was, but screw it. Who cares? A lot of it is due to, in South Africa, they stopped club football for the AFCON. That would make sense. 1 cup, 1 league, and continental. Interesting. Yeah. I know it's going to be interesting to see. Oh, what a mistake! Oh. Oh, Bischoff. Ariel, what were you doing? I almost feel bad for Barcelona. Oh my God. I mean, I don't, but at the same point in time, oh my God. It couldn't have went worse for them if they tried. Genuinely couldn't have went worse for them if they tried. It's actually kind of hilarious. I mean, they've given me a 5-1 walloping in the period of time since I've had Real Madrid. But it's beautiful to see us have a win, especially with the level of quality they have. Like, they've Romo Lavia there as well. Ariel is meant to be a good player. I feel sorry about the fact that that Quimbala ended up falling. But yes, at the same point in time, I am winning. I am victorious. We want the league. So we have to be vicious. We have to take everything in greatness. And you know, when you have the foot in the neck, you don't take it off. You crush the larynx and you watch them squirm. Ben, my friend, what's a crack-a-lackin' with you? Have you any news with you on this fine Wednesday evening? We are demolishing Barcelona in our first of 2 showcases in the league this year, trying to get back-to-back La Ligas. Trying to, and yes, I know. I'm looking absolutely fabulous. Finally, this actually makes sense. It's only for a bit anyway. I wanted to get a hot towel shave and see if I had lost the double chin. And unfortunately, the double chin is still there. I mean, these stats do not showcase the result. Like, we did dominate them, but at the same point in time, it probably is closer to a 5-3 than a 5-1. But I'm very happy with the result. Bart had a fantastic performance for them. Jason had a fantastic first half performance for us, and then we just crushed their spirit in the second half. The best way to end up being, we're happy with the way that things are going now, and we continue onwards and upwards, and we see how things are going. I mean, you say Joaquin was lucky off of a deflection. I don't know. Let's look at that goal again once this ends up loading, and we'll see how happy he was of a deflection. I am, actually, Ben. Now, I'm going to find it very interesting how the in and out of play ends up working, because at the moment, and I'll actually show that goal in a second. At the moment, in and out of play is showcased in this game. It's showcased through this in possession and out of possession showcase here. So it's already in FM24. The fact that they're changing it into having this simplified structure for both of them, where you can end up making the changes for in and out of play in a more dynamic viewpoint, is interesting. If they do it right. Now, the big thing with it is because it's in this dynamic structure, it means now you can end up, in theory, being a lot more wacky with the results you end up doing. So we'll see how it ends up working with itself. But I am actually kind of excited to see how it goes. I think, even more than anything, it'll be really interesting to see online saves and stuff like that as well. I'm probably going to start unemployed and move on from there the same way that I've done with this one. I have the game bought and I'm ready for it. So it should be a bit of crack. What about yourself? Ben, will you end up purchasing it? Will you end up having a go at it? Anyways, if you have a chance to want another team to give up the sport, I say go for it. Oh yeah. In all competitions, put the foot in the neck and crush. To be honest, without a beard, you do look like my step granddad on my mother's side, who's deaf and called Steve. Jesus, I don't look that old, do I? Don't worry, son. Don't worry. It'll all be good. We'll all have a good old time. Don't worry, it'll all be good. It'll all be great. It'll all be great. You know yourself. You know yourself. Nothing of the worry. Nothing of the worry. Yes, that was an excuse for me to drink the whiskey. I feigned talking like your grandfather just to have the whiskey. Also, Katie, rude. Also, watch this goal again. Where's the deflection? Enric down, comes down here. Joaquin, he didn't touch him. Oh no, we have to slow that down. Okay, stop. Yeah. Okay, goes Enric with a brilliant crossover. Justin not jumping in time, so Ricardo sends it out. Lands to Joaquin. Joaquin rockets the ball. It didn't even touch him. It didn't even touch him. Back off with your, wasn't he lucky with the deflection? To be honest, I've not seen him in 15 years or so, but you do look. I'm only messing with you, Duck, but it is funny. As to see him would mean seeing my own mother, and I'm not doing that. Hey, life's a bitch, and then you die. Do whatever makes you happy. Did you know? Did you know, Katie? Okay. Let's see. I'd painstakingly wait this out. You're the reason for this pause and this epicness now. This slow epic trail of how this ball is going. Just so we can see the touch. I hope you know this is your fault, Katie. Spitefulness runs through my veins, and I shall wait to see whether or not this touch happens. Comes to Joaquin. Volleys the ball. He doesn't even wait for it, just volleys the ball with a masterful kick. Volleys it over, and then with the other foot. Nothing there. I thought he was going to hit it again. Oh, he does. He volleys it down. Fair enough. Runs a bit. I won't lie, I expected this to be slightly faster. Then he whacks the ball. And... shit! What the fuck happened there? No, I'm doing this again. This time we'll just wait until Joaquin actually has the ball before we slow it down. Okay. Where is it? I went through him, it didn't touch him! There's a difference! It went through him, it didn't touch him! It was hit so hard it went poorly through him. It did not touch him. That doesn't count as touching. It went through the astral plane. It touched the astral plane. It didn't touch him. Either way, it's still a hell of a goal. I mean, Foston had an unbelievable game. We'll agree to disagree. Just remember, the crack is always right. Crack is always right. And for complaining about the crack being right, you can do what everyone can do in this type of situation, Katie. You can... See, this is my reaction now after winning this debate. Still there. Cool. But yeah, anyways. I think if we've learned anything in the last period of time, the crack is a spiteful bastard. 40 games since we've lost in the Bernabeu. I think that is a fantastic record to end up having. Now, good on you to joke about the fact that that didn't end up making any sound, but I'm actually listening to the stream on 2 different sections, so I know for a fact that it did on one of them. This is Crack Stream. He's like, China and you better make friends because you're winning. I think you know what comes next, Doc.
Off is a direction you can fuck.
I still need to edit that at some point in time to actually make it PG-13, but I still love it so much. Okay, anyways. Good performance by us. Happy out. And you always complain about the refereeing because the referee never does anything. By the way, I do hope that's something they improve on in FM26. Specifically, this side of things. They're not going to do this, but I kind of hope if a player has a bad performance, you're able to fine them again. And if you consistently complain about the referees, even though I do it the whole time because they are shite, they'll fine you or something will end up happening to you. Because I've never actually gotten disciplined in this game. I do think there should be a way or an implementation into the game that your actions from the sideline can get you sent off. Because wouldn't it be interesting if they'd set up a way where you're suspended from a game, where you're not able to do anything for a game, and as a result of which your assistant manager needs to take over the game because you're not able to be there, but you can watch the game and see how things are able to go and still give everyone your bollocking after the game, you know? I think that would be an interesting mechanic to add into the game, if I'm honest. Yeah, I know. I remember some of the FMs I used to play because I used to bollock the referees all the time. Now, could you get sent off from the sidelines? I know bollocking the referee is something in the old FM games, but I don't know if the manager himself getting suspended was a thing. Because if that is, that's honestly an epic inclusion, if it is. You'd have... Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that definitely should include that in again. What would you have had to have done in order to have warranted a touchline ban? Like, was it from shouting? Was it action? Like, what would have happened? Because I've definitely never seen that. So I think my first FM game, we've discussed this before, but I'll check because all my FM games other than this one have been on Steam. I might purchase this one on Steam, to be honest, just to have all of the FM games. But my first FM game that I have, my first FM game was 19. Really? Oh, okay, that's interesting. I mean, I agree with it, and that's actually an interesting way to do it. And that's an interesting way to potentially do it in this game. I know it's probably not included, but just to talking. I do think if they haven't brought in the shouting system, whatever they've replaced it with, because they're going to replace it with something, I hope. Otherwise, it literally is just watching a simulation, and you've gotten rid of a mechanic. I know the shouting system is horrible and doesn't really do anything, but it does make you feel like you're actually doing something. It would be an incredible inclusion to make that system be able to get you sent off. Like, if you shouted too much, your system would end up warning you to calm down because you're at risk of getting sent off or something like that. Like, I think if you had implemented the shout system that way, it would have been a hell of a lot better. I think that'd be a unique way of putting it in. You shout at you continually berate your squad. Move up to the left, or just shout, move up, or shout, press, or shout forward, or shout back, or shout defend. But if you do it too often, eventually the referee will end up berating you for it and carding you for it. I actually think that would be a unique mechanism back in the day. Like, I don't, maybe you've heard of it. I haven't. Is there any news on what they're replacing the shout system with in FM26? Oh, would you look at this? Ard Guller is now a Spanish citizen. That's awesome to hear, and it only took him being with the club since he was a child. Yeah, at one point in time, I had him on loan at Crystal Palace. I'm missing what that no is in relation to, so sure. Ooh, okay, Miguel Maguire. Real Saspatan have some production quality. Like, Oscar Rojas was awesome when they first brought him out. He hasn't developed because he's stuck with them, funnily enough. But some of the players they have is unbelievable. Nothing announced to replace shouts. Yeah, I didn't think so. And I know they've announced an upgrade to scouting, but everything I have seen of the upgrades that they've announced for that confused the bollocks off me. So I'll just wait until I get it in my hand. Oh, Ethan Hewane is going to Newcastle from RB Leipzig. Interesting. Congratulations to you. Where does that put you in your league now, Duck, to have beaten the top 6? Or is that putting you top 6 because you've beaten the 4th? Because that phrase is a bit awkwardly put down, unfortunately. Oh, Libe, you had a good performance and now you're out. It's unfortunate to see. Third, it reduces the gap. Happy out. Happy out. That's what you want to end up happening. See how it ends up going. And Bob's your uncle happy out. I mean, I shouldn't have that many people out on loan, do I? Okay, I might be unfortunately sacking the new Real Madrid B manager again. If I win my game in hand, be down to 5th. Not too bad. Senor Benakage, what's a crack-a-lacking with you? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? Is it all going spicy? Is life treating you brilliantly with the way that it all is going, my friend? It's going sound as a bell with me. I mean, for a bit I have, yes. Gone beardless for a bit now. Just got a hot towel shave there. I figured my beard was uneven and I wanted to see if I still had the double chin, which unfortunately I do. But yeah, something for a bit. I suppose you have done the same. I haven't managed to spot the stream to notice it, but that's it. Well, happy out chilling and having the vibes is the way to go. Now, I will say it is probably an act of girlfriend abuse to have her listening to the crack. But at the same point in time, I'm happy to have you here, my friend. Well, whatever you end up doing on Friday, I hope it is a wonderful joy. Happy out. Yeah, you're only forced to go into the office every now and again, isn't it? You're not always in the office, which is nice. But it's a pleasure to have you back in, Senior Benny. Happy out. Happy out. That's what you want to end up having. It's great to have those type of situations. But yeah, what are you thinking of streaming on Friday, if you don't mind me asking? Okay. Enric is always brilliant. And Marco should be back for there. I mean, us. I'm not going to say anyone else but us. Because I think we're going to win it. Why wouldn't I? I'm going to do Rise of Nations, but I might do FM23 or PGA. PGA is in golf. I thought you only played Pangya. Do you play actual golf as well? Interesting if you do. Well, happy out. How are you finding the golf? Because I hear the latest golf is actually fairly good. Duck. Do we need to get you a doctor? Do we need to make sure that you're okay? Thing one at the back. Do we need to have a discussion? Do we need to have an intervention? Are you sure that life is treating you okay now? Fuck off! Fuck off! Oh! Fuck you! That might be the most offensive thing I've ever heard you say. Genuinely. Jeez Louise, man. And hear me trying to be nice. Hear me trying to not say anything mean, not to lose the crap. My God, man. That might be the most offensive thing I've ever heard. Wow. I mean, you've destroyed me, Duck. I mean, I have to go around masks now. I can't do anything about it. Actually, I might get banned with this mask. Here, give me a second. There, that's a little bit better. Crimson Chin, you arsehole. Because I look a wee bit too much like a terrorist. Although, ironically, this mask probably doesn't help with that either. uh, it's great, some bugs, but overall, it's brilliant. I'd say so. Is it still pretty much the Tiger Woods game, Benny? Or, or, is there bigger figureheads in it? Because I haven't paid attention to golf at all. I watch it every now and again. I know Rory McIlroy is still doing fairly okay, even though he's won bloody nothing in years. But yeah. Need a biff and a twack comic book style text every time, pop up every time you swing your head. You know, there probably is a way to implement that, but I don't have a goddamn clue how to do it. Nor could I be arsed, if I'm honest. As I see that Murph FM, the fantastic Murph FM. Ooh, crap buckets. I see that the fantastic Murph FM has a pop up on his streams where Tug Life comes up and the actual glasses and the cigarette end up following him around when he moves his head. So I'd say there probably is a way that if I move my head, the boom of the Wichan ends up coming out like the Crimson Chin. Now I'm never going to search it up because screw you for even attempting to make the comparison. But it is interesting. Anyways, all the same there, my friend Senior Benikage, what is your plan for the evening? Is it just to relax and enjoy the evening? Listen to the dulcet tones of Senior Crack? Or will you be up to anything exciting yourself, my friend? Who knows? At some point in time, I might end up having a look at it during one of the subsequent Steam sales if it goes on sale. At the moment, I am bonkersly tempted, like bonkersly tempted, to purchase Metaphor Refantasio. Considering the Ultimate Edition is currently 60 quid, and the Ultimate Edition, like, you don't need to buy the Ultimate Edition of that game. The €40 version, which is the base game, is simply worth it. Like, the Ultimate Edition is basically just a load of art assets from other games. But at the same point in time, I kind of want them. So I'm really tempted to spend the $54.99 on Metaphor Refantasio. One of the reasons why I don't want to do that is because I still have to play on this, because I want to do it as a stream. I still have to play Shin Megami Tensei 5, as I've mentioned before. And I still have to finish Clear Obscure, so... Of course, Lord of the Fallen could also be an option, because that's 20 quid at the moment. And that's meant to be a fairly good game as well. Hard, supposedly hard as balls, but meant to be a good game. Alongside that, I really shouldn't be potentially buying games. I have almost 1,000 games in my backlog, so you know yourself. Um, SMT5, like my big thing when it comes down to SMT5 is whether or not I play the original version of that story first and then stream Vengeance as well, or just just jump into Vengeance. I probably do both when I stream it, but I want to get back to doing Clear Obscure first. At the moment, the reason why I'm not doing Clear Obscure is I still find it hard to use this hand. Like if I have any games that use the keyboard and I need to use the shift key, this finger still isn't proper to put the full pressure on the shift key in order to do it. So, a few weeks time, hopefully, it'll be back. Oh no, I know that. My point was, Duck, that I know basically you can play the Vengeance story without playing the original story. But I've never played the original story of SMT5. So I'm half tempted to play the original story and Vengeance, but I know that means you're technically playing 2 playthroughs of the game. Now, with that being said, I know you cross over all of your demons from the original story to the Vengeance story, so you'll be able to blitz the Vengeance story a hell of a lot quicker. But point is the point, you know? But I love the Shin Megami Tensei game, so it wouldn't bother me too much to do that. Anywho, what do we do here? Sorry, give us a second, I'm thinking. A wee bit weaker on the wings, but we should be fine. No bother whatsoever, Katie. It was a pleasure to have you in here. I'll be on again tomorrow evening if you have any interest in coming back in. I might be on to something new at that point in time. I mean, I might actually start SMT, even though I haven't finished. I haven't finished Clear Obscure because I don't want to actually need the finger for that. It's because of the way that game ends up playing. So I might end up doing that, or it might be more FM. But until then, my friend, make sure you have a fantastic time, my friend. Make sure your crack is 90. Schlongafol, and as always, Pokemon. Have a fantastic night and enjoy your movie. And I hope to hear what movie it is next time you come back in. Yes, the Skull Mexican Bullfighter, Matador, my friend. Matador in Shin Megami Tensei 3. I've always loved the Matador fight in Shin Megami Tensei. And the reason I've loved that fight is because up until that point in time, No. I was saying goodbye to Katie. You've joined at the perfect time. Oh, Karen, are they? Not too bad. Let me know who they are. We'll see if they're still active. What's their name? They mightn't be in my particular game because of the way I have the save set up. Unfortunately, a couple of areas didn't get loaded, but I'll see whether or not they're there. They are. With Cork City. Not too bad. So they've had a monstrous career at St. Pat's before leaving over to Cork City. They've had 12 goals in the entirety of their tenure with St. Pat's. So they've had a good old career in this particular save. So happy out. But yes, back to the original point I was mentioning to you, Duck. Yeah, I loved that fight because it taught you about debuffs. And before that, in all RPGs I ever played, I was a bull-headed prick and just went boom, biggest number, biggest damage, Bob's your uncle, happy out. Whereas for the Matador fight, you kind of, especially if you're on the insane difficulty, you have to learn how to do debuffs. in order to figure that out. You also need to ensure you didn't spend all of your money so that you have the actual card that means you don't end up getting your weaknesses, but that's an entirely different kettle of fish. No up. I'm here to continue on the stream. I am doing fantastic, to be honest. Enjoying the crack, ready to go into another match here. We started it off in great form. We demolished Barcelona 5-1, so our main competition vanquished to us. So we need to continue on now, and the goal is still in line to win all of the major trophies this year, since we failed to do it last year. So we'll see. I got Ireland to 4th place in the World Cup in FM today. Congratulations on doing that, Kieran. How many years have you been into it, or have you done it with the base Ireland team? Because it's possible to do it with any team in FM if you have the right tactical setup. I find, though, the actual thing you need to do is put all of your money into a goalkeeper. So if you want international football to work in this game, join a regular football team. In the youth intake, find someone like a goalkeeper and then focus your ass on training them up. Happy out. So, who's your main player? Is it Evan Ferguson? Is it Troy Parcott? Is it Quavian Kelleher, who's your goalkeeper? Wait, let me know. You've been playing a bit of FIFA. I have been playing a bit of FIFA. Enter AI has been playing it as well, and I joined him in the club's point of view. And then I ended up playing a bit of the career mode as well, which is exactly the same as 2022, which is astonishing, to be honest. The cutscenes are even the same. Just unfortunately, this hand injury means that I can't play it all that long, and it's one of the reasons why I haven't streamed it, because it gets tired fast at the moment. So when I'm healed up, I might stream it at some point in time. But I've been enjoying it for the most part. It's not a bad game. It's just not one I'd buy every year. I put all my stats into health. That's not a bad idea, Duck, but in SMT3, you should be putting all of your strength into all of your attack into strength, mainly because on the true demon ending you get pierce and you get an attack later on. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but you get an attack later on that's physical based and rips the arse of absolutely everything the second you get pierce. So the actual best way to play that game is do that. I'll show you my build at some particular stream. I won't do it now because I don't have a way of showing it, but I'll show it to you later on. I won the League, Euros, and World Cup in 3 years with Ireland. Duck, how did you do that? What did you do to them in order to do it? Kelleher, Delap, and Ferguson. Delap? As in Liam Delap? Or, which Delap is with Ireland? Oh. Is Liam Delap, I thought Liam Delap was English orientated. I mean, in FM, he probably hasn't registered yet. But IRL, is Liam Delap with Ireland? I haven't actually checked that. I mean, he's Irish English. He has the descent. He's able to play for both of them. Oh, he's represented England in all youth levels. Yeah, so there's no point. And unless England never takes him, which, to be honest, there's a fair chance they won't. But unless England never takes him, he's always going to stay with England, unfortunately. But that's interesting. I never even thought of that. Nice poke to be able to get him. That makes a strong offensive line. But yeah, happy out. And did you keep the god himself, the Lord of international football, Seamus Coleman? Did you keep Seamus Coleman in your side, Kieran? They need to start holding the World Cup in some decent locations, like. I mean, we're not going to get into the conversation about the World Cup being held in England, in the US. I don't actually mind it in the US. It's going to be interesting the next few ones, because it's who's it after them? Because they've put down all of the people that have it. So let's see, World Cup locations, because they've announced them for the next couple of years. So yeah, it's Canada, Mexico, US next year. How does this make sense? So you have Morocco, Portugal, and Spain, but there's anniversary match hosts in Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay. How does that work? Interesting. And then 2034 in Saudi Arabia. I actually don't mind it in Saudi Arabia. I know everyone has their own feelings about the Saudi Arabian government and all that, whitewashing the whole lot about it. I understand it. And so long as you aren't hypocritical about it and you know the fact that they are killing their journalists and the whole lot, But you know, I actually don't mind football and events going over there because there are people that deserve to have it as well. I tried getting Job, but he was having none of it. Interesting player. I know at the moment, IRL, Job Bellingham is being touted for Crystal Palace and United. I think he'd be a fantastic signing for Crystal Palace, I'll say. But not being able to break into the Dortmund side and being frustrated at the fact that you're not playing and being a spoiled brat throwing your toys out of the pram like your brother when you're not as good as your brother is a tactic. I'm not sure it's a tactic I would take, but yeah. Ye old BS, the best skipper ever. I missed in connotation to who, Karen, there, when you're on about the best skipper ever. Is that in relation to Job, or did I mention someone else that's the best skipper ever? Spain, Portugal, and Morocco, I don't mind. Proper football nations. I mean, does Morocco count? Does Morocco count? I don't know. I mean, yeah, Coleman. It's astonishing at the age that Seamus Coleman is, that he plays as good as he does. At 37 years of age, he's brilliant for international football. And the fact that he is as fit as he is, without actually playing for any club, is astonishing. Now, here's the thing. I think that in football at the moment, there's an esteemed lack of leaders. I think it's a massive problem infiltrating the entirety of football. I think an insane amount of teams don't have leaders. They have full power leaders, people that believe they're leaders, but they don't have leaders. And I think Seamus Coleman is one of those. He's a leader. It's blatantly obvious that he's able to get people to follow him. He's able to rise people up to the challenge. I think Ronaldo was good at that. I think Wayne Rooney was good at that. I think Roy Keane was good at that. Patrick Vieira was good at that. Frank Lampard, Gerrard. Hell, even Zlatan Ibrahimovic, as much as he pissed off everyone that was with him, was fairly good at that. Nowadays, I don't think there's that many leaders. Like, I'm of the opinion that's a major problem with Liverpool. They have bought a load of future leaders, but they currently don't have any leaders. And it seemed as though Trent Alexander-Arnold was more of a leader for them than you'd end up thinking. I think it's actually a problem for... I'm a United fan. So yeah. I'm a United fan. I think it's actually one of our problems. Bruno ain't a leader, but De Ligt can be. Maguire isn't a leader, but he tries to be, hence full power leader. So I think we're sinking in terms of leaders. I think our best leader has been injured for half of the time that we've had him. Our best leader is none other than Lisandro Martinez, and the poor bastard is on the bench. Not because he's not good enough, but I have my team picked out for the World Cup 26 because Ireland won't be in it. My team will be Cape Verde. You know, you say that, Kieran, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think out of the three of us, I think Armenia should get in. Genuinely, I think they should. And I might be butchering the pronunciation of that nation, by the way. But I genuinely think Armenia have been the surprise of our group. They play really well. They played well against every team they've gone up against and have been unlucky in the ways that they've gone through there. They definitely haven't had, in my opinion, 3-point performances. But at the same point in time, they've wiped us off of the pitch, and we're just crap. So I would like them to get through, but genuinely, Hungary aren't good. So we'll see. I think Ireland could still get through. I think it. I don't believe it, but I think it. Because of Pico Lopez, because I'm a Shamrock Rovers fan, I mean, I'm guessing he's the owner of Shamrock, is it? No, Pico Lopez. Oh no, he was a centre back for Shamrock Rovers. I can't ever remember. Shamrock Rovers is owned by a billionaire, isn't it? Or is that St. Pat's? One of them is owned by billionaires, isn't it? Interesting. Anyway. Interesting. Cape Verde qualified after a 3-0 against Iwadi. Nice that they ended up getting through. How could he? Oh, so because he never played for the Republic of Ireland's main team, he could play for Cape Verde. Interesting. Roberto Lopez. How have I never heard of him? Is it official yet, by the way, that Rovers have won the league? I don't think it is. I think you still need to win another game before you've officially won the league. Which is a nice result for you. Yeah, anyways. Sorry about that. Apologies. That's my Irish knowledge, even though I'm from Ireland, letting me down. Ooh, okay. Currently watching Record of Ragnarok. Tried to watch Bastard. Really? Anything that's over sexualized can't take serious and just turns me off. That's why I went off as Berserk. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I've been watching a couple of things at the moment as well, Duck. So I went back and I started watching Moriarty the Patriot because why not? There's a romance anime out at the moment, and I actually recommend everyone watch it because it's just the right side of complete and utter horse crap. That it's actually fairly good, and that's May I Ask One Final Thing, because it just pulls the absolute piss out of the genre. Call of the Night Season 2 is out, and I liked Call of the Night Season 1. The Hero Without a Class, Who Even Needs Them, is a fairly good one. I've been watching that. There's one other one. I can't remember the name of it, and it's gone off of my listing there. Yeah, my status as an assassin obviously exceeds the heroes. It's crap. It's genuine crap. Like, there's no animation in it. It's completely worthless as an anime. However, it's the right side of crap. If you get what I mean by that. So I'd actually recommend you watch it. But yeah, Kieran, I suppose, who do you think might end up winning? Or anyone, I suppose. Who do you think might end up winning the World Cup? If I was a betting man right here and now, I'd probably put it to England. I haven't watched it, Duck, so I haven't a clue how bad or how good it is. I know that I cannot get my words today. I know that the trailers have been disappointing for it, but I haven't had a chance to look at it to give a proper indication of how I actually feel about it. Have you watched it yet? Or what do you Okay, so now that I'm back in the world of the living, God, there's a lot of crap on Kick today. Now that I'm back in the world of the living, yes. But as was said, it's funny because it's not the fault of the animation crew that's involved in it. Supposedly, there's some mischief behind the scenes with the actual production company. No, it's because of the whiff of whiskey I had earlier on. I've just lost all of my comprehensive thought. I've come to learn that unambitious is actually not a negative personality type, and it's not one that will affect a player's training or development. In FM, because in real life it certainly is. No, I suppose I think unambitious, from what I have seen of it, is that it just means that they don't have pressure in big matches, but it also means they don't have fire for the big matches. Yeah, well, I knew that. Yeah, it's the reason why whenever you see someone with determination 20, you nick them straight away. Is it? Ah, okay. I wonder how, whether or not that'll be the same case in FM26, or will they shift around some of those bits and not tell us, and make us have to figure it out. It'll be interesting to see. I think one of the big things would be to make scouting more important, to have specialized traits that you can't see, that only a scout can tell you about. I think that would be a nice little addition. Now, do you want to put a hurdle in place that allows that to end up happening? Who knows, but we'll see. I'll be honest, I don't actually care that much about it. However, I will adore if it gets publicity, it gets more publicity on the game, and more people start to follow the women's game. My big problem with it is I don't know any of the women footballers at the moment. So, but then again, it doesn't really matter because I'm in now where I have a crap ton of bloody regions, and I don't know anything about them. So there's that. I just hope they have the graphical differences to make it feel like the women's game. I just hope it isn't the male's game with the female quota paint. If you get me. Like if the women have a different bar up here that ends up working for them, and I don't know, as I said, I don't watch the game that much. If they have a different bar up there, I just hope that's been changed in order to, copy the feel of the women's game. And then that'll end up making it feel good enough difference to end up having. It's nice to have it there. But I've said this before on the stream a ton of times. One of the big things the women's game needs to do is promote itself more. Specifically by the players. But I'm happy that it's doing well for itself. I'm happy that the Champions League final this year had 40,000 people at it. Like, that's genuinely beautiful. It's genuinely incredible to see. So, in terms of FM adding it, I don't really care. But at the end of the day, I don't really mind either. I do hope, even though it'll shug the fuck out of a season, I do hope that you can be the manager of a female side and the manager of a male side at the same time. Because if you can, I'll do it. Like, I'll go unemployed and go to wherever I'm able to go. I'll start on the female side and move over to the male side. I'll happily do that. Well, that's happy out. Like, there's a lot about FM I never understood. Like, Duck ended up telling me there earlier on that in the older FMs, you could manage more than one league team at a time. I didn't know that was a thing. So, I'm happy to learn and happy to enjoy, happy to experience. So, time will tell how it ends up going. And I'm just happy that there's a bit of a buzz in the community. Some of them are over-egging the pudding. But at the end of the day, who cares, so long as you're enjoying it. Watching Sky News at the moment, imagine a Ryder Cup for football. I mean, it's called the World Cup up. But I know what you mean. Yeah, Europe versus America. The big problem at the moment is there isn't enough talent on the American side of things for a Ryder Cup to matter. Unfortunately, and this is probably an unpopular opinion, I actually think the Ryder Cup itself is at risk of that. Because Europe have been, well, they haven't been clean sweeping the Ryder Cup, but they haven't been far off of clean sweeping the Ryder Cup. So America might want to pull up its britches a bit and convert some good golf players. God damn it, Enric, you poor fecker. That's the crossbar twice. But again, as I said, not a massive golf fan. Could be talking out of my ass there. If any of you are golf fans, please correct me if you think I'm wrong or if you think my statement is complete hogwash. It's just a fear I have. Just a fear I have that that could be a potential issue. On the topic of FM, I personally think every person who buys the game should be able to take one shot of red arse at Miles. I mean, with the size of my arse, it would create an earthquake, so I'm not sure that's a good thing up. But, hey, I'll take it if you need it. They only exist because it's only team thing about golf. I mean, it's been there for years, but yeah, like snooker variant. I don't mind the Riders' Cup. Like, if worldwide it became big enough for there to be a need or a desire for a World Cup of golf, I'd be happy for there to be a World Cup of golf. But golf, unfortunately, has too much money in it. And the way that golf ends up working, just, it's basically, individuals of individual countries going up against each other anyway. So your World Cup is every tournament that ends up happening. But I wouldn't mind it. Snooker, I've always found... I still couldn't tell you the rules of snooker, but I've always found snooker fascinating. Like, I'm kind of surprised, and maybe there is, and I just don't know about it. I'm kind of surprised there hasn't been a bigger push to make a proper snooker game. I'll tell you that too. Snooker and pool. Like, I know there's tons of mobile games that do that crap, but I am kind of surprised about that. Darts is an interesting kettle of fish because we'll see what ends up happening with darts. Darts has a problem at the moment, and no one really wants to admit it. That the gap between the top and the middle is widening far too much. And a specific problem is happening too, that the last 5 big tournament finals have been Luke versus Luke. Like, Luke Littler demolished Luke Humphreys there last week in the Euros competition. But they have faced off against each other in the last 5 finals. That's a problem. That's a problem. So, we'll see. I kind of need a wee bit of context as to what you mean by "is in China, Duck." Like, because I've probably hopscotched the point a little, and I'm not 100% sure what you mean by it. My apologies on that. But yes, in terms of this game, we've been performing okay, but not particularly great. Them only having 1 shot is annoying, but we'll see how things end up going. Considering we should be doing better. We will make a sub to Enric. We just don't really have anyone to properly replace him. We could put Vinicius up there, but I think we'll go with Alberto for now and move him down if we need to. And that'll be the only sub we make for now. They're big at snooker. I mean, fair enough. That's an interesting fact to end up putting down. Like, Ireland obviously have Ronnie O'Sullivan, so we have one of the best snooker players of all time, so we can't really say anything. But I don't know anyone from China that plays snooker, but then again, I don't really know anyone snooker, so it's interesting that they're into that sport. Another off-season, another offloading of talent and money inflow, 1.75 million right now. Is this a personal save of yours, Benny? Or is this you doing administrative crap for your Gimpo save? No. Or is this IRL? Not too bad. So how many years now have you been with Gimpo? Also, Benny. Also, Benny. We need to stop for a second. We need to take a moment. Need to take a moment. Now, why do we need to take a moment? Just bear with us. This will take a wee bit of work on my side. It'll be worth it in the end. Just bear with us. Do this. And do this. Then do this.
Fucking Christ, Swanky. The way you explained it just make me learn more, honestly. My statement's not a blanket statement, though I have experienced it. No, I agree. I didn't take your statement as a blanket statement. Miles Lewis Skelly just scored on debut, by the way. Fuck, Craic is going to have... I'm going to send this to Craic. my statement.
You didn't, by the way.
I have to send this to Crack.
I agree.
And he's
didn't
gonna
take
be
your
like,
statement as a blanket statement. Let
I told
Miles
you.
Lewis
What
Skelly
a
just
shot,
scored
by
a
the way.
debut,
What
by
a
the way.
fucking blast.
Fuck.
Frank
Crack is
Swanky's
gonna have- I'm
thrown
gonna
me
send
for a
this
loop.
to
I've
Crack.
kind of lost the plot.
You didn't,
here
by the way.
tonight. I have to send this to Crack.
But yeah, that had to be done. For those of you on TikTok, my apologies. Setting it up for the vertical isn't working properly at the moment. I'll figure that out for the next time. But it had to be shown. Had to be shown. Also, by the way, hold on. Hold on. Yeah, just needed to be reminded. My MLS means Miles Lewis Skelly. The joys. God, that joke has gotten off a direction. But yeah.
Off is a direction you can fuck.
But it's all a bit of crack anyways, you know yourselves. But yeah, no, we gave him a shout out earlier on, but Benekage, he created a character in his Gimpo save known as Miles Lewis Skelly, and he scored on his debut. Best player he's ever had, he said. You know, so he's happy with the work that senior Miles Lewis Skelly has done. Let's just hope that it continues to perform. He's a defender too, so scoring a whopper of a goal like that is under the radar for senior Lewis Skelly. You don't have to be so humble. You can say the truth there, Benekage. You don't have to be. When did he become a midfielder? We met him a defender. Azaz de Razio is also the best player. I haven't seen him yet. So next time you're on Gimpo, I'll have to have a gawk and see how he has improved and his stats next time you end up going live. So we'll have a gawk at that in the future, my friend. Considering the stats we've had, we should be doing significantly better here. This is actually a very bad performance by us. I'm happy out. Oh, I'm not complaining, Benny. I'm only messing with you. But it's nice to end up seeing that he's performing well for you anyways. So, that's a very good question to bring up. Also, what a corner by Vinny Jr. Watch this. What a corner. That is a curl and a half. Their goalkeeper should do a lot better than that, but what a corner. So, there's the official stance. There's the Dave Meltzer stance, and then there's the Grapevine stance. So, the official stance is WWE sacked Andrade because he broke the wellness policy and was initiating an activities that broke the culture within WWE, which is hilarious, but never mind that. So that's the official stance. Then, because he's a money mark, immediately Tony Khan rehired him, and he showed up and joined the Don Callis family. After that, he what's being said is he just didn't turn up. That's the official line. He didn't turn up. So the Dave Meltzer point is he showed up for work and then he didn't. Nobody knows where he is. Nobody is willing to tell Dave Meltzer what's going on, but a couple of them know. And then the grapevine news is that he went out one day in Mexico after his debut in AEW and got a bit lost. And that's about the height that we can end up saying. Rumors and innuendo, so take with that what you want. He actually is a really good player for Gimpo. Yeah. Real life player too. Ozaz. But yeah, no, that's the grapevine information that supposedly he was he got lost in the sauce. Basically. Unfortunately. Which is a shame because he actually is talented. He just can't speak a lick of fucking English. Like him and Zelina Vega would have been a fantastic addition. Zelina Vega joining Aleister Black is nice. What do you mean you don't know why they took him back? They're looking for Latinas. Well, Latinxes or whatever the bloody term is. It's not Latina anyway, that's women. They're looking for Latin talents. Like, the biggest... No one wants to admit this, but the biggest market in wrestling isn't the US. It isn't. The biggest market in wrestling is Latin America and Mexico, because it's ingrained in their culture. If you can grab the luchador experience, you have grabbed everything. The reason WWE loved Rey Mysterio so much is the amount of extra traffic Rey Mysterio brought WWE's way was on par with John Cena. To give you perspective. So, yeah, basically, Mucha Lucha. Basically, that's the reason. Okay, how do I say... Because I don't want to get in trouble, and I also don't want to be given false narratives. Let's just say he sniffed his way into the bathroom, continued sniffing, and never stopped sniffing. That's about as detailed as I can be. Yeah, it took some powerful stuff to get rid of it. Is the rumor. A complete rumor. So, I have no way of backing that up. So, take every ounce of that with a grain of salt. You don't want to say that someone is on shit when they're not, but that's the rumor. Now, the official stance is he just didn't show up. So, think of it what you want. Anyway, that was a nice win for us. We are almost on the goal difference per points. So that's what you want to end up happening. So that's beautiful. Actually, that would be a question for you, Benny, if you are still in the chat and listening. How big would independent wrestling be in your area? Like, would there be any independent wrestling shows where you're from? Because it is a thing in America. It's just not as big as it used to be. And then I'll shut up about wrestling because Duck doesn't like it. And unless Up has a question, then I'll happily answer it. But I'm not going to go into a wrestling tangent by playing a football game. Yeah, bad refereeing performance. We'll throw the shade. This is interesting to me. There's a growing discontent at your reluctance to play as you promised in a direct manner. What's your response? Now, here's the funny thing about that. I don't remember promising that I would play in a direct manner. And even at that fact, okay, we're winning. They just turned around and said that we're 10 games on the bounce without losing. So that's interesting to me that they're whinging about the game, the way we're playing, whilst we're winning. Now, with that being said, I'm going to tell them to feck off and do that. But yeah, I remember Sabu was doing an event at my neighbor's town. Sabu would do it legitimately in the car park. He wouldn't give a crap. He'd do it in front of 5 people. That man is absolutely bonkers and incredible at the same point in time. The amazing thing with Sabu too is that man has crushed his body so much that legitimately he should be hired as a stuntman coordinator, because he knows every way to break your body, because the mad bastard has done it. So he can tell you how to turn on a direct chair shot to the head so that it doesn't hit your head and yet still hits your head. If you get my point. He's bonkers. Is he even still alive, actually? No, he died this year. I thought so, yeah. Shame that. He genuinely was awesome. Yeah, 11th of May this year. That's the supporter culture, not the board. I know, as I've done multiple Real Madrid says, he wanted like 60 quid for the entry fee, so I passed. I don't blame you, to be honest. But like, can you get sacked? Because I'm just ignoring it, by the way. But can you get sacked for ignoring the supporter culture? Or if you're winning for the club, will the club give a shit? You can. Oh, okay. Well, if I get sacked, I get sacked. That's kind of fascinating to me. I mean, I shouldn't get sacked by the end of the year, but if the results... Well, yes, but if the results are poo, you're going to get sacked anyway. Also, by the way, there's a showcase of how many sales I've done this year. We're almost at 1 billion. We've sold a lot of people this year. Now, to be fair, we got a lot of fucking money too, but like, on my FM23 save, I have a manager crisis meeting due to bad supporter confidence. Really? Then right after the board one was so funny. Why? What did the board end up saying? Because that's kind of fascinating to me. Hold the phone, Gustav. Gustav, the team. Just the team that has gotten in for the past 20 years. In the past 20 years have only gone down to third. Only gone down to third in 20 years. One of them, which was mine, by the way, but we won't talk about that, have only gone down to third. You're questioning whether or not they're going to get continental football in a league where fourth gets continental football. I mean, I'm not sure, Gustav. I'm not sure. I think we might struggle. What do you think? I think we might struggle. I was a little cockroach on the MTK Budapest save. Now explain to me what that means. I survived like double-digit crisis meetings before leaving for got promoted after, and my former team went in unplayable third division of Hungary and stayed there for like 3 years. The joys. The joys of that. I mean, actually, I'm curious at the moment. I don't think there are any surprises, but let's have a gawk. So Newcastle, City, Chelsea, United, Liverpool, Tottenham. Ooh, Arsenal. But yeah, there's no real surprises here. Is there anyone missing that should be there? No, not really. So I was saying it there up my first one will be make sure all of the leagues that I can, within reasonable standpoints, are active, and then do what I done with this one and start unemployed, and just play through it until I get jobs, and see where life takes me. What about yourself? What are you thinking of doing? For context, before I joined, they were comfortably favourites for promotion back to top flight. Interesting. So you literally destroyed... Oh, sorry. So you actually destroyed them, basically. I mean, fair enough. Why not? You're going to make the manager Ruben Amorim. Considering. I mean, I say that too. I mean, streaming-wise, that's probably what my save is going to be. I always, personally, in order to get to understand the game, do a save as well. So I'll probably be doing a personal United save, but we'll see. Dual man and ladies team saves in Wales with... I'm not going to even try and pronounce that. With all vanilla leagues and playable leagues with all players. Hey! Why not do that? I'm going to put in as many active as I can with one manager and see where we go. And if I hopscotch in between leagues, I'm happy to do so. If I go from women's football to men's football, that'll be the goal. But why not? Why not go through it and see how the crack ends up standing? Yeah, you're not getting him. I don't mind that too much. I will do that. No, I want to win games. Wow, that's very, very cruel. I mean, I understand why people are turning around calling Amorim as bad as he is. We'll see. Time will tell. He still has time to save things. Not much, but he still has time to save things, I think. I'm not doing a director of football challenge either, and if I sacked, I have to start till I win the league with both teams. That's fair enough. That's an interesting way of putting it up. Because I don't think he's the problem. I think he's the problem. However, I do think he's a problem. Now, at the same point in time, if the rumors that are coming out are true, and something akin to the fact that when he butchered out Garnacho after the Europa League final last year, he bollocked the crap out of Manuel Ugarte in order to attempt to get Manuel Ugarte back into form. That gives me a bit more love in his direction. My big problem with him at the moment is he's all speak and no action, but we'll see what ends up happening when he gets a bit of run into him. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. in the United squad isn't good enough. Because I think defensively wise and offensively wise at the moment, we're definitely a top 6 side. Now, beforehand, I think Adrian Onana unfortunately had lost the defense. And midfield-wise, we've been shouting for a midfielder for years. But Emmanuel Ugarte was meant to be that midfielder, and you'd hope that he ended up coming into it, and I don't know what the fuck is happening with Kobe Mainoo. But I think the midfield balance is... Oh, you're on about the formation. I mean, that's not a bad formation. It is very attacking. I mean, the fact that your wingers aren't particularly good means you're going to get carved open like a fucking 10-foot pole. But it's not a bad formation. I think Bruno's a problem as well. I think his heat map. People have been showcasing his heat map on Twitter over the past few days since the start of the Premier League, and his heat map is literally the entirety of the pitch. So, like, that's fine. But he's in the midfield. He's not meant to be all over the pitch. So that's a problem. But it's not him chasing. Like, let's be fair. It isn't him chasing the referee. It's him chasing the ball. But it's still not acceptable. It's still not acceptable for his heat map to be that bad. Give us 1 second. Yeah, afraid of that. I don't like doing this, but I'll do it for a minute, I suppose. I don't like doing this, but I'll do it for a minute just to showcase what I mean. Okay, so yeah, so here's the problem with Bruno. Bruno's heat map is this. So if you make this square here for the pitch, okay. So it's primarily that. So he's mainly in the middle and then going up this particular region there, but he's also everywhere fucking else. And as the midfielder, that doesn't work. Like, his heat map should only be there. At max, it should be like that, but that's also phallic, and we don't want to end up talking about that. But it's just not. It's just a joke, to be honest. Like, that's his problem. Like, he's just not disciplined. Now, who do you get into that particular position? I think it's a bit of a joke that I think it's a bit of a joke that at the moment Adam Wharton and Baleba are being talked as the options. That's fine, but to be honest, what I would do if it was me in charge of Manchester United, he has 1 year left on his contract as far as I know, I'd be offering 30 million quid to Bayern Munich for Joshua Kimmich. As he's not going to sign his new contract, just offer 30 to 50 million quid for Joshua Kimmich and plonk his bony ass into the middle of the pitch. Now, is that a good thing? To do that for a 30-year-old when you've done it with Casemiro and it didn't really work? I don't know, but you need immediate results. I mean, yeah. He's German, so they're always sitting on his ass. Wait a minute, did he reject our offer? I was going to say. By the way, that's a joke. For anyone trying to end up making something out of nothing. Actually, Phillips, Maradona, Restez. My friend Ludwig will get his mate El Grande on you. They did give names to Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne's versions of the El Grande family. I'm not sure what they named them, though. So it's El Grande Americano with Rio and Bravo. Yeah, Rio and Bravo, which, by the way, that's horrible names to call them Rio and Bravo. I do think by the way, I do think that's legitimately going to just get swept under the rug. I don't think that's going to remain, unfortunately, but hey, we'll see. You didn't need to bring everyone over to Australia anyway, so maybe he'll be back next week. Be interesting to see what happens with Seth, if he is actually injured, but hey. Anyways, Dynamo... Okay, so the Champions League we don't really care about yet, because they haven't actually done our draws yet. So we're going into Seville first. Okay. Weird. Ooh, okay. Another goalkeeper there. We don't need another goalkeeper just yet. We'll scout you in case you're useful. And then we'll see what ends up happening there. I went to school with Rob Holding. You have mentioned that before. He was a couple of years ahead of you, I believe you ended up saying, or was he in the same year as you, Duck? Ooh. Ooh. Oh, you nasty bastards. I mean, ironically, I think we had it worse last year, because last year we had Liverpool and City. But still, Bayern, Borussia, Salzburg, Lille, Liverpool, PSV, Molde, and Porto. Still not a great set of games for us. But not the worst either. We could have gotten significantly worse there, to be honest. And Ricky Hatton's son was my youngest brother's year. Interesting. It's amazing how small the world can be, too. Unfortunately, I have never been around in terms of, growth or livelihood or anything like that. Anyone massively successful. The only person I've ever met that would be connotated as famous before they got famous was Shane Finan. But I was tiny and I barely remember that. With Kevin Phillips. Is he any relationship to Calvin Phillips? I have no idea who Kevin Phillips is. Oh, okay. Before my knowledge, unfortunately, my friend. Before my knowledge. But what was the argument about? And did you win it? And just remember, you will be judged maliciously on the answer, so did you win the argument? Ooh, those are fighting words, boy, fighting words. Not a good manager. Who has he managed? So go on, tell us what the argument was about that you think you won. Was it something controversial like Bernardo Saka isn't actually that good of a player? Or something that'll get you shot in some teams' fan bases, like Moise Caicedo isn't that good of a midfielder for Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez is significantly better. Oh yeah, oh, screw that. Manager always has to bite his tongue no matter what and end up praising the fans. You are a guinea pig for a reason. You kind of have to do it. Anyway, yeah, it does sound like a bit of a tit action, doesn't it? Ooh. Oh no, he's a Liverpool player, so leave him alone. Nope, you can kiss the right enemy left arse cheek. I want some movement. Some people we can end up giving out in the... Ollie Davis, really? When and how did you end up meeting Ollie Davis? Forbidden Door, my mate, gotta pick one up. Nice! Not too bad. I wonder how much... I mean, he wasn't there long enough for it to matter that much, but I wonder how much he misses having Adam Blampier work with him.
I'm steady swimming on the safe side. Say your life a movie, but I'd rather watch paint dry. All of my accomplishments will fade off in the gray sky.
Crap ass. Oh, shite. My apologies. I'm getting tired. I was incredibly rude. One of the things you're never meant to do when streaming. Morgan Rogers going from Coventry to Swansea. So if you want to grow better, switch up the game plan, take a new approach. The results will come with patience. A lot of these artists got numbers figured in spray tans. I'm trying to get paid on my own road for show, so hopefully. Oh, we actually got him. I know it's not deleted. Rejected Bayern Munich, Benfica, United, and Lazio. Interesting. We don't need him at all, but we'll take him anyways. You know the TV show The Chase? I do indeed. Bradley Walsh as the host with the Vixen, the Dark Destroyer Paul Wallace with oh god, I can't remember the nickname they gave the Irish buck, but tons of brilliant guys. The Beast there. Yeah, tons of incredibly Fanny Schmeller. I do love that Anton Deck actually introduced him to the legit to the actual Fanny Schmeller. Like that's genuinely one of the best things Ant and Dec have ever done. I know the royalty in England anyways, but like genuinely that's awesome. And then the actual chase, the chase being showcased up on one of the Saturday Night Lives as well, where they'd done the entire skit with the governess, where they have an entire episode of the chase pre-roll planned, and Bradley is losing his goddamn mind at a van outside of the back of it doing trouble. The old woman with the tissue, and the fact that 120 grand was going on sale, and him thinking that it was a scam. Genuinely amazing stuff. There was a question the other day. What bird is the nickname of Cardiff City FC? The guy said swan. I mean, that's funny. What is the answer, by the way? I don't actually know what the answer is. It's a swallow. Considering they suck so bad. Oh, that's a bad joke. I just have to realize how bad that joke is. Sorry, that actually was a really bad joke. Bluebirds. Ah, okay. That makes more sense. I know one of the things I used to watch is loads of Randy Feltface, which is a puppet. Love Randy Feltface stuff. But one of his particular questions that's comes over incredibly well, because the way that he ends up doing it is, and I'll ask you before I give the punchline. Name to me any fruit that is blue in its color. Blueberries are fucking purple! That's the joke. That's literally the joke. Oh God, I'm a fool. I'm genuinely a fool. Blueberries are fucking purple. Oh. I'm also wonderfully after losing my TikTok chat, but it should still be connected to Caster Labs. So let's hope that that's fine. Anyways, put it on the phone as well. You see, when you look at this up, the way that you unfollow is when you look at the screen there, you'll see a button known as subscribe. You go into subscribe and you click the 12-month button there, and as a result of that button, you then end up giving roughly €39, or I think it's €30, to Twitch in order to give some of that to me. That's how you unfollow. By the way, completely pulling the piss. So don't worry. Although I do know a way to make you feel jealous up. By the way, does that notification come up and let him know that he can't message now? Or how does that do? I've never actually seen anyone activate subscribers only mode for Twitch chat. Enter in shield mode is my specialty. What's shield mode when it's at home? By the way, I'm putting that off straight away. It's just funny that that's an option. Oh, does it tell you? Oh, okay, fair enough. Like, it comes up with a banner saying that it's just been activated, or how does that end up working? Because I've never seen anyone do it. I mean, unless I was getting hurled massive abuse, I'd never end up activating that mode. And even at that, I just tell you to shut up, and if you continue to do it, I'll block you. So, yeah, I'd never really do it. Oh my god, let's suck. $7B channel. Don't ask where this rename came from, I can't remember. I mean, it's a good name, to be fair. It's a $7. What's a crack-a-lackin'? And how long have you had this account? I'm guessing Duck. No, we're keeping him. There are a certain amount of players I actually want to try and keep. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be signing anyone else, so I'm half tempted to just skip the rest of the transfer deadline, but still. Interesting. I mean, interesting that it's just a B+, considering how good we've been doing. But hey. Weird. I am in year 11, Linus. Year 11. I think it's 2034. Yeah, 2034. So I'm in year 11, 2034. Started in 2023. So it's been a good old run now, to be fair with it. A good significant amount of the base players have been converted into regens. But it's good. I think someone I mod for set up a shout command and it came back as B channel as the channel it shouted out every time. Interesting. Yes. 2034 at the moment. You can see here, the 1st September 2034. So I'm in 2034 at the moment. I'm 11 years into this particular save. So, good long time. This is probably one of my longest saves at the moment. Interesting. I mean, it's a good name. Good name to have for your first channel. Signed you and then immediately put you out on loan, and we're sending you to Juventus. So that's actually not that bad. Well, potentially sending you to Juventus. Not a bad deal for them. That's not happening. Interesting. I know I have the money to spend. Like, I think my transfer budget is close to, what is it? Yeah, 500 million. So I could literally buy anyone I wanted to in the world at the moment. Almost anyone. But I can't be arsed. I'm also playing a save and I'm not happy out. So, with that being the case. Okay, yeah, no, if that's done, I don't care. So, conclude transfer business. With that being the case, Linus, do you have yours open there? Do you want to do certain checks and see where you have people versus where I have people, or cross-referencing of that degree, or do you give any shade of crap? Interesting. Okay. Why can I not get it? Why did it disappear? Ah, here we go. I was wondering where it went. I don't know how that happened. Okay, cool. So we still have it, so that's good. Cool. Yeah, probably done better than me. I've been a bit around in different Swedish teams. Got to England with Ipswich and now Chelsea. Happy out. So, since we haven't done it in a bit, I suppose we'll look at the great esteemed Crack Attack. 66% win possession, 12% draws, 21% loss. Most of them came at the beginning of the game. Started horrendously with HSV in that first particular year. Left them at 13th and left them because I was about to get the sack. Moved immediately to Palace, unfortunately got dropped down. Had a fantastic league with Palace, even though I got third, and failed in the playoffs with a horrible situation. Then walloped the championship in the first season and was doing fantastically well with Palace. Eyeing for a mid-season finish, but in my second season with Palace, but left them to go to Liverpool, then got third, then won everything with Portugal and the World Cup of Portugal. Left Liverpool, went to Real Madrid, got third, got second, got first, and then got first. And look at the rewards that I got last year. I mean, I've been doing well. Now, I've been lucky. Failing upwards going to Palace helped a significant amount. And robbing a couple of players that I shouldn't have had access to because I hadn't an most up-to-date save helped significantly as well with Palace. Like, in this particular year here with Palace in 23-24, just so I can show you. I was the one who got Wilfred Gonto. They had brought in, obviously Yips was already there. So Wilfred Gonto was the only real signing I did, along with Connor Bradley as a loan. And it almost worked out brilliantly for me, the Bradley loan. And then Ard Guller, which was fucking expensive, but he was good. I was forced to sell Elise because of the contract situation. And then when I got sent down, I was forced to sell a crap ton of people as well. Gayhead there, Eduardo there, Mitchell there. But we got very lucky on our buys there as well. Savino, Ernest, Job, who didn't stay with us for long. Like, we got lucky on some of our signings. So, it worked well for us in the end before we left them. So, Aaron there for 400k, and then I ended up buying him off of them again later on. So, the joys of it. But yeah, you do what you can. In your particular save or mine? Because I've had a couple manager of the month, manager of the year. I think I got manager of the year. How do you see if you got manager of the year? Oh, I did get manager of the year. It says there. Yeah, I got manager of the year last year and month 8 times. Manager of the year there. And manager of the year there. Yeah, so I got manager of the year every year for the past 4 years. So that's something. You know, you can't really complain about that, can you? Well, you can, but you'd be a cantankerous tit, wouldn't you? Edison Martinez, a new goalkeeper. That's fascinating, because I'm almost positive they still have Costa. Yeah. God, their team is shite. I mean, at least they're playing Oscar, so that's something, but, like, not a great team. Michael Carrick is the manager, too. By the way, that reputation for Michael Carrick. Jebus. He's a 41% win rate. 6-year sponsorship of 1.2 million. That seems low, doesn't it? Okay. So, I think, unfortunately for tonight, this will probably be my last game. I'll still be continuing on a bit afterwards to do a bit of administration after the game, but I think this will probably be the last game for tonight. And I'll be on again tomorrow, anyways. But I haven't yet decided whether or not I might do Shin Megami Tensei 5, if I'm honest. But more than likely it'll be FM due to laziness. But time will end up telling. But for now, let's decide our team. So, we'll give Keta a go, but we'll replace you with Boston. We'll put Joaquin there. David Gomez there. Christian there. We'll go with this back line. Ugarte probably needs the time. Crap baskets. I don't want to go too weak. Brim needs to play. He's too good not to. I'm guessing you're saying you can't be arsed. But how are you finding uni anyway? It's like, what are you, 3 weeks into it? Up? Are you enjoying it at all while you're at it? Because it could be a bit of crack. Like, because I think you're only in your first year of uni, isn't it? If I remember correctly, or am I completely wrong on that? Ooh, is it much of a travel for you? There's nothing worse than that. No, we'll give Ronald a go. Fuck it. Ronald and Warren Emery. We can swap in Manuel Gatti later on. We will replace Galzel with Jude and replace Ard with one of our youths. But we have far too many players. Some of them need to get game time though. Yeah, screw it. We'll give the 18-year-old a go. So we'll give him a go. And if he isn't injured now, he isn't. So that's good. So we will... Actually, we'll swap the two of you around. And we'll put Junior on instead of him. You will be replaced with Marco. And we'll go with this squad. So it's a complete change of squad, but ooh, crikey. I mean, 25 minutes each way. Oh, yeah. 50 minutes is bloody annoying. Do you have to drive the whole thing up? Or, like, can you get a bus? It's annoying either way. But at least if you're on a bus, you can crack something onto your phone and just enjoy that. I wish I was live for you in order to enjoy the epicness of my voice. You know what you could do to pass your time from going from home to college and from college back to home? I have the VOD activated for Twitch. So what you could do is you could repeat this stream, watch the epicness that is the crack, and enjoy this beauty more than you can believe. Yeah, no, Doc, they have been all over the Green app. They've been inundated with them on the Green app. I don't even know what the bloody hell they're on about. It's Coffin. Everyone is on about the same one. They're linking to a Discord about Coffin. I have no idea what the hell it is, but, you know, I'm not going to deal with it. I do at some point in time have to get some publicity. Like get some merchandise. Go and get a hat. Oh, Jesus Christ, that makes me look even younger. But yeah, get bloody words. Get hats and crap like that. Why is Eminem streaming FM? Because why not? But to be honest, he might be paid for it. But that's interesting if he is. Link me that if he's streaming it. On Kick. I'd be shocked if I... Like... That man doesn't have any loyalties in his bones, so it wouldn't shock me if, God damn it, man. Now you've made me hate wearing my hat. You know what, just for that. Just for that, I become Walter White. But yeah, no, it wouldn't shock me if he was over there. Oh, well, in that case. Oh, crikey, stop falling all over the place. You mean Collargate? Yes, I have seen Collargate. I will say some of the information around Collargate is bloody hilarious. I couldn't give less of a crap about it. Like if you engage in animal abuse, honestly, you deserve to have whatever happened to the animal happen to you. I am of the legit opinion that that's how you should end up doing animal abuse. Whatever you do to the animal should be done to you. So I think you should be forced to wear the dog collar I think you should be forced to wear the dog collar for 8 hours for the next 3 bloody years of streaming. And then whenever he gets up from his chair to move, he needs to get shocked. I've got 2 hats off to you for free tonight. I know you didn't have to pay for the hat thingy. With Anthony Joshua. God, with the way Anthony Joshua is performing at the moment, he might win that. You'll have to send me links to nice hats so that I can purchase more hats of genuine quality. So interesting now. Paul Wanner. I have always found him to be fantastic if you get him young enough to develop him. I think in the Civ? No. But I've always found in FM24, if you get him young enough, no matter what his potential is, he performs brilliantly. So long as you develop him up enough. So it's interesting there. Anyways, in we go, and let's see how we do now. Have we gone too weak? Will we need to pivot fairly quick? We'll see now in a minute. Will we have another barn-burning shot from Joaquin in order to get him his second straight goal? Potentially not. Marco! What a save from Fofana. Wow. Zayn Emery with a corner. Nobody there. Nico should be doing better. Hello. By the way, if you've ever watched it, I recommend it. The Disney Channel show, Fillmore. That's actually a scene in it. And I never understood it, where you have two kids in a swimming pool with their eyes covered up, and you have one kid going, Marco! And then the friend going, hello, Marco! Hello! Hello! And they're literally that close away from each other. So, also, nice goal from Jude. I mean, it's tapping, but you score every goal you get. Auto mugged me off for the identical message alert. Yeah, I mean to be fair, it's to make sure that you're not spamming. I think I have it set that you have 10 seconds or something like that in between. Wow, that's horrible. Doc, calm your tits. God damn it. Is he... I think he's a player I sold them. Did we have him? No, okay. He sent Jason the complete wrong direction, and that's our first conceded goal in the league. No, it isn't. What am I talking about? Bloody Barca scored against us. Marco with a beautiful goal. To be honest, I think it isn't that Automod is biased. I think it's that he's a moderator. Funnily enough. I think as a moderator, the timing doesn't end up affecting him. But to be fair, there is an easy way to rectify that issue. Ooh, almost scored that. And a diamond. Can a diamond craft a diamond sword? I don't know. Maybe it would be interesting. I don't think I'd be able to make a Minecraft stream entertaining. I'd love to try, mind you. Maybe in the future. But I don't think I'd be able to do it. I mean, I don't even know if I still have that option there to change game. Oh, the time someone out, yeah. In the future, I might end up bringing back the change game, but I'll need to put a list of games that we can actually change it to. But we'll see. I mean, yeah, but Netherite's harder to get. Cooking sim, supermarket sim. I don't think I have either of them. Let me check. No, I don't have cooking simulator. Make sure you have the minimum requirements. I love that notice is there. and Super. I don't have Supermarket either. I might look to getting one of them. By the way, this is one hell of a performance. Jude is the luckiest man in the world. That's 2 games in a row where the ball has literally been passed to him to score. Jazz games played Cooking Sim, and it was very fun. I mean, yeah, the one thing with me, and the reason why I don't put in the reason why I don't have it anymore for changing the thing is because I have this setup. I like to have it look nice and have the tag there and do the profile. I know it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. People would be happy if I just plonk the bloody face cam image in the bottom right hand corner and it covered half of the game, but I like the way that it looks. So, I like to put in that little bit of effort. So I'd like to know the game so they have this designed, because like as you can see, like with Blasphemous, it's like this instead, even though the bloody Spotify is broke on it. But you can see like it's nice having the the layout nice. We were a card family, us. So ours was getting a deck of cards and playing 25 or 110. Phenomenal games. Oops. Mario Kart is mine. Mario Kart is mine. But then again, I also love Drunken Mario Kart. And Drunken Mario Party. My big problem is I haven't owned a current Nintendo console in quite a while, and the Pokemon game is probably the only thing that would convince me to potentially buy a Switch 2, and it's not good enough to bother. God, some of the designs of them Mega Evolutions are goddamn awful. I don't know what they were smoking when they came up with Mega Starmie. Or animated it. Never mind coming up with it. The animation of Mega Starmie is criminal in 2025. SpongeBob Lights Camera Pants. I've never seen that, so I'm gonna have to check that up later on. I know some of the old school SpongeBob games were considered fairly good, so that's interesting to hear. I'm guessing it's basically a Mario Party ripoff, is it? It'd be kind of like it'd kind of be like Sonic Boom, not Boom, Sonic Blast, I think. There's literally a scene I seen on Twitter where Mega Starmie walks over and then they didn't animate the turn, so he literally just like. They didn't animate him turning for the 90 degrees that he needed to in order to aim if you were in the wrong direction. So they literally just flipped the asset with no turning animation. Up. Up. Up.
Off is a direction you can fuck.
I once won 30-0 in a 1 minute 30 game PS2 game 2005. What's the name of the game? Is that Seahorse Polo? I've never played that game. I didn't even know it was a PS2 game. Sorry. So yeah, I suppose when it comes down to the PS2, mine, not party games, but my favorite game. Well, my favorite game on the PS2 is Here Comes the Pain, but I played that here on the stream before, so you can tell why I like that game. But outside of the wrestling, which, fanatic, it probably would have been Crash Bandicoot Twinsanity, but I love that game with a passion, even if it is a broken, buggy piece of crap. I meant it's cool how you guys remember old games. I autocorrected. I believe you. I believe you. But yeah, no, it's sound. But you remember everything in your childhood. Like I'm old enough to have played games on the PS1. And I played it on stream as well once. Toy Story 2 is a fantastic game. And I genuinely think everyone should try playing it once. Like, it's dated, but it is a fantastic game. One of my first memories was going to Finland when I was 4. God, and you're making me jealous. I mean, to be fair, when I was young, there used to be this spot in Ireland known as Trebalgan, down in Cork. And Trebalgan was basically a mini camping site that people would go with their kids in order to just enjoy the crack there. I remember that when I was young, but I didn't do much traveling or stuff like that. And I was a very, very closed-in kid. I didn't really have any friends or anything like that, so I was kept to my own devices, kept in the room, didn't do anything like that. I kind of wish I had done more physical activity so that I didn't become a fat son of a bitch like I am now. But, you know, as time goes on, I shall improve and things will end up getting better and blah, 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 blah. But yeah. Dreamcast Pog. I actually didn't have a Dreamcast. I was solely on the PlayStation side of things, unfortunately. But it was a fantastic bit of kit, the Dreamcast. Stitch Experiment 626 developed my fear for wasps. I played a Lilo and Stitch game, but I didn't play that one. But Stitch is such an incredible character. It's kind of why I'm sad they bastardized him in the new Lilo and Stitch movie, which is even worse considering it's doing really well on streaming now, which means the goddamn thing is going to get a sequel. So we'll see what ends up happening there. That is fucking hilarious. That is hilarious. Because everyone was asking for him on loan. That's absolutely hilarious. I had a PS1 and a Sega console too. Well, it wasn't mine. The PS1 was my brother's, as was the Sega Genesis. But I had more... Well, actually, now that I think about it, I started getting stuff for the PS2. So everything we had on the PS1 was the brothers. We had Radical Racers or something like that. Oh hell no! I'm from the well, it would have been technically the generation slightly before me, but I'm from the generation that the oldest sibling had everything, and if you tried to permanently borrow anything from the oldest sibling, your head would be a monument on the wall. Now I'm lucky that I'm bigger than my brother. But I wasn't back then. I was bigger girth-wise, but I wasn't bigger, height-wise, and it did make a difference. I think this is an international break, is it? So this was the game that we done last. No. Let's see if we can continue a bit. Yeah. No. What do you? Yeah. Bar, like that's of course that's what we meant. Oh, then I'm sure you've caved their heads in plenty of times. Yeah, it's an old phrase in our time up of borrowing with the... Oh, I only borrowed with the intention of never giving back. I mean, honestly, for growing up, you're probably better off. But at the same point in time, it depends on the relationship that you have with them. Unfortunately for me, I'm quite distant with my family in general, so it doesn't end up going too well for me. But if you have a good relationship, it's fantastic because you're someone there to always talk to and hold it. I think siblings are significantly better for girls than boys because, especially and I'd say maybe Duck will disagree with me on this one. There's this whole mentality back when I was young, anyway, that you kind of more rivals than friends with your brother, and as a result of which you don't really interact, so you're never really friends, you know. Oh yeah, I still remember at one particular time we'd pretend to have wrestling on the ring and wrestling on the trampoline, and crikey, the crap that we'd end up doing there. We'd bust the thing 10 shades to hell. Brilliant experience, but it's one of the things that made me want to be a wrestler and one of the things that cursed me not being fit. But you learn your mistakes and you wish for the future. All I know is if I have any kids, I'm forcing them to do exercise anyways. Canadian Destroyer! Well, in my particular case, it would be the Irish Destroyer, you know yourself, but yeah. I mean, technically speaking, it's still not too late for me to go into it if I got fit enough. So after this heals, I'll try and get proper food exercises into it and see where things are going from there. I know that Senior Doom was talking with me about potentially helping me set up some stuff to end up doing that, and I do have talks with people, potentially setting up a thing in the future where every Monday I do an update on how, like YouTube video or something like that, on how my week has gone for improvement physically and all that type of stuff. So we'll see. Maybe that might be something I do in the future. And one ended up in the local reservoir with my dad having to fish him out with a tiny utensil. A tiny? What? A tiny? What? Hold the phone. We were playing around and I got a bit too rowdy and their heads suddenly bled. Then Canadian Destroyer from Crack, fair enough. And one ended up at the local reservoir. Now, when you're saying local reservoir, I'd have to think that means a local embankment of water. Otherwise, you're on about the toilet. And if you're on about the toilet, fair play to you, but how would a tiny utensil help get someone out of that? Here's one for you. What age would you let your kids have a phone, tablet, console? So, own one? As in, on their personage where they're always allowed to keep it? Once they enter secondary school, so between the ages of 12 and 13. Because hopefully by that point in time, I'll be able to determine whether or not they're mature enough that I can stop them off in the middle of town and turn around and says, you're on your own. Call me in 10 minutes. You know safety precautions. If someone comes up to you, you don't no scream, someone will end up helping you, go to the guards, do all this type of shite. So it really depends on the maturity of which you're talking to the kid. I don't think technology inherently is bad. I think the abuse of technology is bad. My big thing, especially from when I was working with children, is the idea that you get all of your synapses and social interactions via the phone. So obviously I'd say, obviously, you could be like me and be disastrously bad at social etiquette when you're young and be alone. But most people make friends in school. So you have your social education done in school. But then after you get out of your school environment, you go on and you start talking to people there. I kind of agree with you that social media should be 16 plus. I kind of agree with you on that, especially considering the sick fucks that are on social media. But I also think it's a matter of maturity and explaining in detail the dangers that are there. You know? I think the internet is far too useful of a learning tool not to be used. So I think they should end up having it. But I also think there should be a limit to it. I am of the viewpoint that once you have done your physical activity for the day, once you have burnt off the calories that you need for the day, it's fine what you do in your personal time. However, I think what I would probably end up doing with my kid is I'd say, I don't care what you do in the month, but you need to have a new skill by the end of the month. Be that read an entirety of a book. Be that if you want to go on to an instrument, play me something new on the instrument. Be that if you're interested in drawing, I want a new drawing in front of me. Be that if you decide that you want to create a video game or work on something on Game Maker or art assets or something like that, you end up doing that. I mean, yes, the limiters and the monitoring you put in place for kids should be there as well. But the big thing about children is children need to be able to act like children, but they also need to not be treated like children. Because the sad truth about the way that we treat children at the moment is the current structure of the way that you deal with children is to mollycoddle and protect them significantly too much. Now, the internet is a dangerous bastard, so it's fine to end up doing that. But again, I think the limiters are a bit interesting. Obviously, limit off all pornography and all that type of shit to the best of your ability. They're going to find ways through it. There's now in millions of the fucking sites. There's no way you're going to be able to block off all of them. But I genuinely think by the time they start searching up most of that crap, they're of the age where they should know, you know? This whole online safety bill to protect kids is horse poop. The reason for it, would you trust the government to bring up your kids? I wouldn't. Can't listen to them. They don't know that. Yeah, but people don't do it either. Like, it's easy for me to say as someone that's not a parent, but parents don't discipline their kids. Not properly. As someone turned around and said on this morning in Britain, he turned around and he said, I joined a school there as the principal, and the first thing I did was I implemented all of the rules that were in place. If a uniform was in place, I made them wear the uniform. If they didn't wear the uniform, I'd send them to detention. If that didn't end up working, I'd call the parent in and make the parent sit beside them. If that didn't work, I'd force the parent to bring them in on a Saturday. It says, and I discussed with the parent in the way that's ended up having to be, because the action, and this should be the case in life as well, the threat for negative actions should be terrifying enough for someone not to do it. Unfortunately, rules are made not for the wise, they're made for the idiots. And they need to be threatening enough for idiots not to do it, you know? So it's a combination of things, but I think an awful lot of it would be rectified by just talking to the kids like semi-adults, you know, like 18-year-olds, not belittling them, not insulting their intelligence. You know your kid. If they're not mature enough to talk about things in a mature fashion, don't talk about them in a mature fashion. But I have seen 6-year-olds with sharp as tacks who you don't need to baby coddle and belittle and talk down to. And the amount of people that do that and then they just stop having interest in anything is astonishing. So it depends on each individual circumstance. And again, very easy to say as someone who isn't a parent. And like the big issue is money, because like want and desire and all that comes down, and money always causes issues. So hey, what can you end up saying? You know, there's loads of unfortunate problems when it comes down to it. I once stopped an older teenager from falling. They tripped and was going to land on me anyway, and I could have lived with myself. Consequences be damned if I ran out of the way and they cracked their heads open, for example. I mean, that's a problem with morality as well. An awful lot of people have stopped caring about people and have stopped caring about those around them. But, you know, luckily they didn't complain or anything. Yeah. On a different note, I just saw Kota Ibushi is going to be injured for a long time. Well, he broke his leg. He snapped his femur in two. So you say he might be out for a long time. There's a chance he never comes back up. In general, the recovery time for a broken femur is a year to 2 years. Like, he thinks it'll be 2 years, and he knows the extent of the injury. I'd be shocked if he came back. Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing, too, that an awful lot of people don't know, is that you can get in trouble for being around something like that and not trying to stop it, you know? So I can understand why you'd take the action there, and you're better in general to take the action, Duck. But it is hard to put yourself in the way of problems, you know? But hey, at least nothing was wrong with the situation that happened. We'll go with you. So what do I think of the Rich Holland situation? I mean, look, if he was a major star, the negotiations probably would have already happened. Odds are they probably weren't going to re-sign him anyway. The unfortunate thing is that he got injured. It's a multi-billion-dollar company that can afford to take the hit on his salary for the 7 months that he's off in order to avoid the bad publicity. So for both him and Kylie Ray, who's pregnant, I would have continued to keep them on just to avoid the bad press. But with that being said, he should have known that it was coming, and he should have been ready for it, because he would have been out of work. Now, the problem is with him, and kind of with her, it's both of them are going to be out of work and not going to be able to work. But at the same point in time, if I'm a contractor, and I know that the contract is coming up, I need to end up having plans in place if that ends up happening. In both of their cases, I'd be going on to Twitch right now with the fan base that I end up having and trying to set up something there. Just start up that way, to be honest. I'd be doing streams in order to keep myself alive and to go that way while I'm at it. If I'm honest, that's what I do. Now, Ridge Holland has the personality of a wooden brick, so whether or not he'd be able to do that is an entirely different conversation. And I didn't watch enough of Kaylee Ray to be able to give an opinion on her. So there's that. What do you think, Up, if you have an opinion on it? Or did you get caught in an ad and miss absolutely everything I said there? People shouldn't be let go if they're injured, in my opinion. I mean, here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it. He only had a month left in his contract, so he was going to be let go anyway. And WWE are doing the bare minimum and paying for the rehab. So he's getting free medical care while he's doing it. Now, if it was me, I'd be trying to ham the books on that and screw them for every dollar I can. But, like, again, billion-dollar company, they can afford to keep him on. I'd be keeping him on. But, like, they're in their rights, which is the sad thing about it. They're in their rights to do what they're doing. And that's the really, really sad thing about it. Just to avoid, I'd be keeping him on just to avoid the bad PR. Like, for a $1 billion company, you can afford the hit. Is my viewpoint on it. Anyways, this will be the team for the next game that we end up having. But that will either be tomorrow or very soon as well. As I said, I haven't decided yet. And we'll see what ends up happening. It'll either be this or I'll move on to Shin Megami Tensei 5. But I'll be starting at 8 to half 8 tomorrow as well. And I look forward to having any and all of you, if you end up having come over. I'll do a raid on Twitch, but for everyone else, I thank you all for coming. So on every other platform, thank you so much. Make sure your crack is 90. Long go full, and as always, hold me home, my friends.